Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Secretary, I want to return to the IRS scandal that my colleague touched on. The IRS first said that there was no targeting of political groups. Then it said that it was a few rogue agents in Cincinnati. Then it said that there was also equal scrutinization of progressive groups. All of those things have been now proved untrue. Now it's saying that these Lois Lerner emails have been lost forever because of a hard drive crash. And then only when asked, the IRS disclosed that 6 other hard drives belonging to IRS officials being investigated had also crashed. Given all that history, do you personally believe that crash, quote unquote, was truly an accident and a coincidence?
Senator, I don't agree with the history that you recited. I think there's no evidence that's come forward to show any political involvement in the whole 501c4 decisions. I think that the actions taken by this administration and by myself have been clear that we need to replace the people who made decisions in senior positions.
Mr. Secretary, do you personally believe that this hard drive crash was both an accident and a coincidence?
Senator, I have no reason to believe that it's not just a hard drive that broke. Hard drives do break.
Okay, so you believe it was an accident and a coincidence?
Look, I know that in 2011, when the hard drive broke, it was reported. There was an attempt made to reconstruct it. It was a hard drive that broke.
You believe it was an accident and a coincidence, basically, according to your testimony before, because folks at the IRS told you that?
Senator, sometimes a broken hard drive is just a broken hard drive.
But you don't understand the fact that the American people think somebody other than folks at the IRS should look into this?
Look,
doesn't that make fundamental sense?
I defer to the IRS commissioner who's addressed this at great length. They have and will continue to respond to questions.
When's the last time a hard drive broke like this at the IRS?
I don't know, Senator.
So you haven't asked that question?
I do know that hard drives periodically break.
Do you know if it's ever happened before, say, in the last 10 years at the IRS?
Senator, I'm not an IT expert. I'd have to get our IT expert.
And you haven't asked that question?
Senator, I do know that hard drives break. They break in the Congress, they break in agencies, they break in our homes. And when a hard drive breaks, you try to recover what you can. What the IRS has done is gone above and beyond, in terms of reaching out not just to the broken hard drive.
Mr. Secretary, the point is nobody trusts the IRS to be the only person looking at this issue. It's a fundamental point. No one thinks only the folks who could get in trouble over it should investigate it. You don't think that's a fair response? Because that's certainly the dominant response of the American people.
Senator, I think that the IRS has gone through a thorough review. They made a report to the Congress. They are testifying, answering questions. And
let me ask it this way. When a taxpayer files a tax return and takes a bunch of deductions and the IRS asks questions about those deductions and the taxpayer has no receipts, no documentation of the deductions because the dog ate them, should the IRS accept that?
Well, actually,
without any further outside investigation?
The IRS policy, when a taxpayer has lost information because of something like a broken hard drive, is to work with the taxpayer to recover what can be recovered and to make determinations based on the data that's available.
That's interesting. I think there are going to be a lot of broken hard drives happening in the next few months, so I'd warn the IRS about that. An archivist at of the United States testified yesterday that the IRS didn't follow the law when it failed to report the loss of records belonging to a senior IRS executive. What consequences will there be for that failure?
Senator, the IRS IG is looking at this whole matter, so there are independent eyes being put on it, and I would defer to the IRS IG those matters.
Also, a number of IT professionals disagree that these emails are unrecoverable. What, if anything, are you doing to bring those professionals in to the process?
Senator, I'm happy to take back any questions that arise. I am not, as I say, not an IT professional. I have been told that extraordinary steps have been taken to recover the data.
I just want to emphasize, Ms. Secretary, that in the real world, when I talk to folks in Louisiana, Democrat, Republican, Independent, their reaction to the notion that this is a pure accident and coincidence ranges from some who are very, very dubious to most who think that that assertion is laughable. And this is growing the distrust gap enormously between Washington and the American people. Something needs to be done about it.
Well, Senator, I obviously don't disagree that it's unfortunate that the hard drive broke. I'm answering your questions. The IRS is answering questions. It was from 2011 when the hard drive broke until now, every effort has been made to recover. And
the only folks looking into it work at the IRS. The only folks
well, no, the
looking
IG,
into it
the
are
IG
those
is the IG
who work
is
at the IRS.
Senator, the IG is looking into it.